brought me into this. I had nothing to do with what y'all had going on.
But you kept involving yourself. Why?
How
Ladies.
does she know what I'm saying?
Ladies.
At the end of the day, I really want him to go on with his life, get married, have a baby, and be able to be in that baby's life from birth.
And I wish the best for him and his future.
Miss Montoya and her son, Mr. Sensible, assert they've been deceived multiple times by Miss Brown regarding the paternity of her child. Miss Montoya shares that a recent near-death experience has made finding out the truth critical. Miss Brown admits to the lies and hopes that karma won't strike bad at her.
Ms. Montoya, you and your son, Mr. Sensible, claim you've been lied to by the defendant about the paternity of her child on numerous occasions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you say a recent near-death experience makes today's DNA results more important to you than ever.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge asked Miss Brown about the timeline of her intimacy with Mr. Sensible and her ex. She admitted that she saw her ex shortly after being intimate with Mr. Sensible. Miss Brown presented a calendar detailing the days she was intimate with both men. On the calendar, days marked in green show when she was intimate with Mr. Sensible.
In green are the days you were intimate with Mr. Sensible. In red is outlined the dates you were traveling, and then in blue indicates which days you were intimate with your ex.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's
which
another
is
thing,
potential
Your Honor.
father number 2. So yeah, that's doubt.
Mr. Sensible said that when he found out about the baby, she was certain he was the dad. He wanted to be there for the baby even without a DNA test. He asked if the baby could be with him. Tina added that they just wanted to bond with the child since she already had other kids.
I didn't have no paternity test or nothing. I was just gonna step up and be the father. But I said, can you send her out here? Can my mom come get her? Whatever, like whatever you want me to do, however you want to do. You can bring her out here on the plane, whatever. I get her, and can I get to know her? Like she.
So that he'd be able to bond with the child, being that she had 3 other children.
Judge Lake asked if Miss Montoya contacted the mother because the baby resembled her son. Miss Montoya said when she saw the baby, she reached out to check on both of them because she's caring, even if they're not on good terms. She became emotional discussing it. When asked why, she expressed wanting the truth.
Your son told you there could be a baby.
No. Honestly, when I saw the baby, I called to check on the baby in her. I'm not, she can call me as she may, but I still
I never
care.
said
I'm a
anything
caring
about
person.
you, and I still don't think nothing about you because I
can see
don't know you as a person.
She actually is getting emotional talking about checking on you and your child.
Miss Brown confessed to numerous lies about the child's paternity, leading to Gregory distancing himself. Despite Gregory's desire to drop the issue, his mother, Miss Montoya, persisted due to fears stemming from his past near-death experiences. What were those experiences?
Miss Brown, that was a lot of lies.
It was.
Most of which you admitted to. Why so many lies?
Because the whole time I was dealing with her, I should have been dealing with him, and that's how I felt personally.
And that's because I cut her off, Your Honor. I cut her off, and I wasn't dealing with it no more.
Miss Brown admitted to telling Gregory not to take a paternity test because her ex believed he was Maliah's father. She didn't want to disrupt their family. Gregory asserted that she informed both potential fathers about the possibility, but waited to see DNA to know who the child resembled before making a decision.
You are not her father. Ms. Brown, you look relieved. Ms. Montoya, you look crushed.
It's not about being crushed. At the end of the day, I really want him to go on with his life, get married, have a baby, and be able to be in that baby's life from birth.
And I wish the best for him and his future.
Miss Smith and her father, Mr. Wooten, are suing to prove that Miss Backus is not Mr. Wooten's biological daughter. They claim Mr. Wooten owes over $92,000 in back child support for a child who isn't his. His income is currently being garnished by 50% to pay this debt, putting him at risk of losing everything.
You and your father, Mr. Wooten, are suing to prove Miss Backus is not his biological daughter. You say your dad owes more than $92,000 in back child support for a child who isn't his.
Yes, Your Honor.
3 weeks after getting together with Miss Backus's mother, there was a discussion about having another child. Miss Backus was told by her mother that Mr. Wooten wanted another child, but he has a different story. Miss Backus believes they were together for a year before she was born.
And she told me that you had said that you wanted another child.
Yeah.
That's what was told to me. But you're telling me something different. So that's why we're here today, to get some order.
When I met your mother 3 weeks into knowing her, she wanted to know why.
She told me I was together a whole year and then I was born a year later.
Alondra, please.
Man, Daddy, I can't. I'm not even feeling nothing that y'all saying right now.
Backus is frustrated with rumors about her paternity. Is it karma, or is she a victim? A few years ago, she was found on Facebook by her alleged siblings, who seemed to accept her. However, Smith claims Miss Backus sent the friend request, and upon acceptance, started posting pictures insinuating they were siblings.
She is real dramatic, but I know she know who
Okay,
she was
Miss
messing
Backus.
with. I'm tired of the rumors. Her kids found me on Facebook, was praising me. I'm glad. Ooh, we found out. Oh, you the lost child. Oh, you know, and
Miss Backus sent me a Facebook request and I accepted it because
You know
I
what?
did know her.
Miss Backus claims she was never denied by her supposed father. She presents an original copy of a document where the father's name is left blank. She also shows a picture where she's with her mother and allegedly her sister, Miss Smith. In the picture, they all seem close. Miss Backus emphasizes her love for Cece despite current tensions.
he never denied me.
And this is the original copy where the name of the father has been left blank.
But Your Honor, in this
So-
picture, it don't seem like that he denied me. And in this picture, with my sister holding me next to my mother, didn't seem like they denied me. That is my mother. That's me in the middle, and that's Cece on the end. That's why I can't never stop loving her.
The speaker recalls a moment when her mother doubted the paternity of Miss Backus, but she affirmed that Miss Backus was indeed her daughter, leading her mother to apologize. Miss Backus asserts that the contention revolves around money, accusing them of causing her pain for 34 years due to financial reasons. What does the DNA report hold?
Mr. Wooten Jr., you are not her father. I know this was not the answer you were expecting.
No, it wasn't, but I
And
had to do it. I had to do it.
Yes,
because
you
I
did.
was tired of the rumors. I was tired of being treated. So now I know why I got treated like I am, and I'm good. I wanna apologize to the Wooten Pryor Clayton family.
Miss Moyer and Miss Fields have brought Mr. Sandifer to court to establish if he is their biological father. However, each woman believes she is Mr. Sandifer's only daughter, dismissing the other's claims. Mr. Sandifer, on the other hand, believes neither is his daughter, but hopes one of them might be.
Ms. Boyer and Ms. Fields, you've both brought the defendant, Mr. Sandifer, to court today to prove that he is your biological father, but you each believe that you are his only daughter and the other is not. Am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Miss Fields recounts her challenging childhood. She lived with her grandparents after her mother, who worked multiple jobs, couldn't afford to care for her 3 children alone. Mr. Sandifer and Miss Fields' mother were married during Miss Fields' early years. Emotionally, she questions Mr. Sandifer about his absence and lack of support.
I was adopted to
Take
my
your time.
grandparents because my mother couldn't afford. She couldn't afford to take care of 3 children by herself. My grandparents stepped in to
that's
help
a lie
me.
right there.
Let her finish.
She
Mr.
couldn't. She was
Sandifer.
working at a bar in a burger place. She could not afford it. 3 children by herself. You didn't help.
Why should I help when I wasn't the father?
Mr. Sandifer confirms that he had an intimate relationship with Miss Fields' mother and was told by friends that Miss Fields was his child. He claims to have been present at the hospital when Samantha was born, not as the expected father, but rather as a friend. Contrarily, Miss Fields disputes his presence at the hospital.
So, Mr. Sandifer, did you date her mother? Did you have an intimate relationship with her mother?
Yes, Your Honor. Then she come up pregnant, and I was always told by friends that Samantha was my child. But
were
when the
told by
baby
her
was
too.
born, I was there.
You said you were at the hospital.
I was there for a friend.
Miss Fields expresses her disappointment and frustration regarding her relationship with Mr. Sandifer, her alleged father. She accuses him of not being present in her life before she was adopted and not taking steps to gain custody of her or act like a father when she was younger. Miss Fields waits for karma to strike bad at Sandifer.
Tell me about your relationship.
We don't have a relationship like sisters should. Y'all have a lot better relationship than me and you do.
Of course, because I fought custody for her and everything.
And you would have never done that if it wasn't for
How could I when you was adopted out
would have
from
never-
under me, Samantha?
You weren't there before I was adopted out from under you. When I was 9 years old, you could have done something.
Miss Boyer confronts Mr. Sandifer about her childhood, mentioning a time she found their home abandoned after a visit with him. She learned he had moved to California. Mr. Sandifer tries to counter her claims. Their exchange reveals deep emotional wounds and unresolved family issues. The family awaits the DNA result.
The court has determined, Mr. Sandifer, you are not her father.
Mr. Mosley is in court to address Miss Humphrey's claim that he fathered her 2-month-old son, Tyler, during a separation from Miss Robinson, the mother of his children. Mr. Mosley believes that Miss Humphreys should be targeting her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Cook, as the potential father. Mr. Mosley feels the paternity uncertainty threatens his relationship with Miss Robinson.
Miss Humphreys, you are in court to prove that Mr. Mosley fathered your 2-month-old son, Tyler, while he was separated from the mother of his children. Mr. Mosley, you say she's going after the wrong man and that she should be pointing her paternity finger at her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Cook, because he's the baby's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mosley, pointing to his children, argues that they strongly resemble him, suggesting that genetics play a clear role in their appearance. He contrasts this with Tyler, implying that the child doesn't bear a resemblance to him. He believes his kids have inherited specific features, such as his chin and cheeks, from him.
Look at the pictures, you know.
I mean, that don't matter.
I got light skin. Y'all see this? I got
it don't matter.
You're saying that your children look like you. You don't look anything like Tyler.
No, I don't. I mean, look at my children. They got my same chin. They got the big cheeks like me. Not only that, they was by the same woman and they still don't look like her.
In the midst of a heated discussion, Ms. Humphreys claims that Mr. Mosley continuously asserted that Tyler was his child, leading to conflicts between her and him. Ms. Robinson interjects, feeling dragged into their dispute, questioning why Ms. Humphreys kept involving her. Will karma strike bad on the pair?
I mean, you on my page.
Yes.
I didn't contact you. So
Girl,
you've been saying
yes,
for
you
all
do.
this time that this is his child. So me and him are bickering because of this. You brought me into this. I had nothing to do with what y'all had going on.
But you kept involving yourself. Why?
How does she know what I'm saying?
Ladies.
Ms. Humphreys asserts that she slept with Mr. Mosley during the period in question, believing he was available and single at the time. When questioned by Judge Lake about the current status of their relationship, Ms. Humphreys reveals that they are still intimately involved, despite the ongoing paternity dispute, which shocks the audience.
And it's your testimony that you don't understand why Ms. Robinson is all up in arms.
I don't.
Because she knew about the relationship.
Right.
Was it your understanding that they were on a break as well? They were not together at the time?
Yes.
So in your mind, you were sleeping with an available, single man. What is the nature of your relationship with Mr. Mosley now?
We still sexual.
Judge Lake addresses Mr. Mosley's statements regarding his feelings for Miss Robinson, emphasizing that while he claims to want a family with her, he is not in love with her. The judge points out that while many claim men don't express their feelings, Mr. Mosley is being quite transparent about his intentions and emotions.
Represented families, men, women, as a family attorney, I hear so often, you know, men, they don't talk. He just doesn't talk. No. He won't talk. He's talking now, but y'all not listening. He's telling you exactly how he feels and how he's gonna operate.
During a court proceeding, there seems to be confusion and conflict regarding Mr. Mosley and Shanita's intimate relationship. On the day of the DNA test, it was claimed that they hadn't been intimate for months. However, contradictory statements indicate they were still having a sexual relationship. Only the DNA result can reveal the truth.
It has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Cook. Congratulations, Mr. Cook.
Thank you.
Percy seeks a paternity test to confirm Gail as the father of Tidra Glenn. She claims to have spent $200,000 raising Tidra without Mr. Gale's support. Gale says he learned of potential paternity when Tidra was 15 and fears his wife will leave if he's confirmed as the father. Will the karma strike bad on paternity court for his deceptions?
Miss Percy, you've petitioned the court for a paternity test. You're here to prove to Mr. Gale and his wife that he is the father of your 26-year-old daughter, Tidra Glenn. You claim that you've spent nearly $200,000 to raise your daughter and he's done nothing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Miss Percy and Mr. Gale dispute the nature and duration of their relationship, while she insists they were intimate throughout his relationship with another woman, Tanya. He claims they were together just once. The key point is whether Mr. Gale fathered Miss Glenn during their relationship. Another man was previously tested for paternity and was not the father.
If you were together 15 years, that would put you way before. You were together with your wife way before.
Right, we broke up a long time ago.
But we were still sleeping together.
We slept together
We
one
were
time.
sleeping together the whole time you was with Tanya.
No, we wasn't. We
Yes,
slept
we
together one time,
was.
Your Honor.
He's still trying to sleep with.
What?
Whoa! Woo!
Miss Percy reveals that when she reached out to Mr. Gale about the paternity test, he said she'd have to pay for it. Mr. Gale, however, claims he asked Miss Percy's mother to split the cost with him, but never received a response. Their disagreement continues about past events.
I felt like I was old enough to find out for myself. So when I called Mr. Gale, he was like, well, I understand that you want to find out who your dad is, but you're going to have to pay for the paternity test.
Oh, my God.
I would have been,
Your Honor.
I would have been fine with that.
When I asked her, I said, tell your mother, see if your mother can go half of me on a paternity test.
Miss Tidra insists that her mother shouldn't be blamed for her growing up without a father. She confronts Miss Tanya Gale, suggesting she should have made sure she didn't grow up fatherless. Miss Gale feels portrayed as the villain and expresses how her marriage has been strained due to past infidelities.
I don't have no problem with her. She's laughing and giggling like it's a joke. And it's not a joke. Your kids grew up with their fathers. I did it.
She did it.
I did it. And
met her mama.
I'm not sitting here and act like it's my mama's fault. Because at the end of the day, whether I was 15, whether I was 2, whether I was 2 months.
Tidra presents photos of herself and Mr. Gale as children, pointing out the similarities in their features. She feels there's a clear resemblance between the two. However, when asked, Mr. Gale dismisses the visual evidence, stating he only cares about the results of the DNA test. Tidra confronts him, recalling a time he acknowledged the resemblance.
And then now, this is a more recent photo of you now, and you still feel like you see a resemblance.
Yep.
Mr. Gale, do you see a resemblance?
All I can see is the DNA test.
Whoa, that's how you feel? When I sent him this picture, you said I look like you.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Tidra expresses her deep-seated longing for a father figure in her life. Despite the disputes between her mother, Deidre, and Mr. Gale's wife, Tanya, Tidra feels caught in the middle and as though she's perceived as the issue. Deidre reassures her daughter that she's not the problem. Will the DNA result make things better for Deidre?
You are not her father.
Hear me, boo. Holler at your girl. Let's roll.
What you talking?
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
You glad?
Yes, I am.
No.
I've always been glad.
You
That's
ain't
why
always
you
been
never
glad.
knew it.
You thought you was gonna have
Mr.
me back.
Gale,
Oh, please.
Mr. Gale and Miss Percy, I can't hear any more of this.